At least 3 people have been killed in the Afghan city of Jalalabad following anti-Taliban protests. Witnesses tell Reuters the Taliban began shooting when demonstrators tried to replace the group's flag with Afghanistan's national flag. More than a dozen people were injured. Over in Kabul, the Taliban have begun the process of consolidating power, with one of their leaders and founder of the group returning to Afghanistan for the first time in well over a decade. Over at the airport, evacuation flights continue out of the country, with more than 2,200 diplomats and civilians evacuated so far. But the desperation to get out of Afghanistan led to a chaotic scene on Wednesday. At least 17 people were injured following a stampede at one of the gates. Meanwhile, the UAE now saying that deposed Afghan President Ashraf Ghani is now within the country there. Of course, he fled Afghanistan right before the Taliban took over Kabul. Well, roughly 2,000 people have been confirmed dead in Haiti following back-to-back disasters in the country. In the hardest-hit town of Las Cayes, residents face yet another night of heavy rain, hampering search and rescue efforts. Tropical Storm Grace battered the region just days after a 7.2 magnitude earthquake shook Haiti, trapping thousands of people under rubble. Weather conditions are making it difficult for humanitarian aid groups to assess the extent of the damage and get care to those most in need. UNICEF estimates more than 1 million people, including 500,000 children, have been affected by the disasters. The group estimates it will need at least $15 million to respond to the most critical needs. And U.S. officials are investigating an unusual illness at the embassy in Berlin after 2 people stationed there developed symptoms for a condition known as Havana Syndrome. Diplomats tell the Wall Street Journal 2 members of the staff experienced nausea, severe headaches, ear pain, and fatigue, conditions that were so bad they were unable to continue working. The symptoms first surfaced among U.S. diplomats in Cuba 5 years ago, but they have since been reported in China, Russia, and Austria. The case in Germany marks the first reported in a NATO country, and U.S. officials say the condition could be caused by attacks using radio frequency energy. The CIA has formed a task force to investigate the incidents.